Let's unmute there. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. All right. We got some audio here. Yep. Audio sensing good. Plugging in the phone. That's good. We tweeted about this. This is good. All these things are good things. Welcome to the stream, everybody. So tonight's a surprise stream. I thought I'd be a little bit more on the ball with this, but I was in the mood to stream. A friend of mine asked if, oh my goodness, Donald Belgium, right in the chat. Holy crow. Here, I'm going to open up a beverage here. Don't want to blow out your ears. The party's started. You got Don, you got me, you got some coding going on. What else could you need? Maybe a scotch? I don't know. Scotch tasting, some gasoline in a cup, shall we? Okay. So here's the plan. Plan for tonight is actually to explore a couple of game engines, more specifically GDevelop 5 and PixelBox.js. These are open source JavaScript based, all-encompassing game engines and game development environments. So the reason for that is I intend on joining Ludum Dare or Ludum Dare. I don't know how you want to pronounce it. I want to call it Ludum Dare. It sounds impressive that way. Ludum Dare 46, which starts this weekend. Buddy Darcy actually suggested him and I team up, being Team Dad, as in we are dads and we got family commitments and we can't just start Friday night and grind it through 48 hours and make some really impressive thing. And we're both developers. We're architects. Thinks, just funny fact, Don's here. We're architects that don't code. So that's a line. It's a great line. I still love that line. But we're both architects, and so we've been out of the real coding game. Team Drunk and Disorderly. That's not going to say that's inaccurate. Not going to confirm nor deny said situation, although it's based on the chat so far. But yeah. So that is the big plan, is to kind of do this analysis on these two game engines. And the idea is to have something that takes me away from C#, takes me away from actual coding, and kind of forces me to push something out in 48 hours. And I want to make a web-based version of it that is a critical part of anything that I want to do, because you want players, you want people. You don't want to just not everyone's going to install your game. You want to try to. Oh, look at that! You got the phone vibrating and the whole thing here. But yeah, that's kind of the big plan. We want a web-based version out there, and there's a possibility based on my buddy SourceCoot over on Twitch. He is entering which started actually a couple days ago, the GameDev.js competition. That's a 13-day game jam, and he's a big JavaScript game dev and WebXR developer. In any case, put this on my radar, and we could hypothetically, if that 48-hour game jam goes well, we could extend by about a week and push something together. And we could maybe even submit to a second game jam, which would be really cool, I think, if we could push that further. So tonight is about experimenting with some other stuff. I'm going to be comparing everything I have to Unity and Godot. Godot being to be fair, after today and some of the work I've been doing with it, it is kind of my preferred engine. I like tinkering with it. It's developer centric enough for me to feel like I'm welcome in that environment. But let's get to. Oh, good. Here we go. This is how you know it's a good stream, everybody. You know it's good because I haven't installed anything yet. I haven't installed any of the pieces that I wanted to do here. So we're going to keep all the files. We're going to keep. Yeah, it's just telling me to delete all the downloads because they're from the internet. And let's show you some stuff here. Desktop with stuff. There we go. You can see my downloads here. Very exciting stuff here. A lot of developer crap. But we're gonna install GDevelop. Well, that bodes ill. Show in folder. Rolling like an architect trying to... I already got an error message. It's pretty impressive in a way. Here, try to run this. Okay. Now this is where the exe that has been warned to me numerous times not to open explodes my entire computer. So let's try it. Let's run this anyway. So GDevelop is an interesting thing. It showed up on my radar because as we initialized this whole thing, I watched a YouTube channel called Game From Scratch. Canadian boy, just hit 100,000 subscribers. Very interesting YouTube channel. He just kind of posts every day, just new cool shit he comes across, right? And one of those things was PixelBox, brand new engine that's kind of an all-encompassing Electron app, so it's self-contained. But the idea here was to look that one up, and I was starting to dig into it, and then this thing shows up, GDevelop. This is a very, very friendly, all-encompassing environment too, but a little bit more mature. So putting that architect hat on, something that's a little bit more mature, something that's a little bit, been around a lot longer. I'm going to bet on it a little bit further. It looks pretty all-encompassing. Has a lot of export features. I think it is a very non-developer centric tool, which is probably good because I get caught up in the coding and can I do patterns? And to Don's point, I'm rolling like an architect trying to code, and that just gets you lost down rabbit holes, and you just end up producing hot garbage anyway. The fact that you can even get something to work is impressive. That's an architecture comment, not a game dev comment. So make sure my zoom is working. It is not. Let's open up the wrong zoom. Nope, not the one that's gonna sell my soul, according to the internet. Zoom exe. Okay, so we're rolling. Good. That zoom in up there. Sweet. Okay. Let's see here. So if I go to start page, I want to create a new project. Do I want to open a project? Okay, so at least I could use now that it's installed locally, you could run this in the browser as well. If anyone wants to test this thing out, head over to gdevelop.com-ish org something. Google GDevelop, and what you'll find there is a great little IDE, and you can actually run it right in the browser. It lets you sync it up with Dropbox, or not Dropbox, but like Google Docs, or Google Drive, I think it's called. But yeah, so there you have it. So let's see what we got here. I'm going to zoom in a bit live so we can kind of see what I'm looking at here. What's this? Language, preferences, profile. I guess we'll just start a new project. Can we do that? Let's create a new project. There we go. All right, so let's start with one of these here. We got platformer, we got 8-bit space shooter, isometric game. That's probably the one that is gonna fit me the best. Downhill racing. So it's all 2D. Okay, what's under the examples? Oh wow. This is kind of the thing I'm hoping to go with here. When you have an engine or a product that's older, there's more time for the community to kind of get behind it. So I think we're going to go with isometric game, because that is a sexy kind of architect naming convention for sure. Okay, we're going to zoom out a bit so we can see what I'm looking at here. Okay. All right. So pretty cool little UI. You got launch a preview of the scene right here for more. Debugger, network preview, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to zoom in on that so we can all bask in the glory. So there we got launch, debug, pretty standard. Open the object editor. Okay. Toggle grind, window. So I can actually even do that kind of crap. Okay. Objects. What happens when I click? Drag and drop an object on the scene to do that. What do we got here? Well, look at all this fancy stuff. Oh, and it even uses Piskel for the editing right here, so I can actually edit this right now. What if I click on that? Oh my. Well, would you look at that? They've embedded Piskel right in here. So this is kind of cool. So this is exactly what I was talking about. Oh, I'm already blown away with this thing. I'm gonna vandalize this poor sprite. This is gonna be fall victim to my beautiful art, my ability to do art. Let's see here. Now, how do I play it? Is there a way to play the animation? I haven't done Piskel in a very long time because I'm old and not good at things. You know, it's more the not good at things that throws me off. If I'm being honest, I'm a little punchy tonight. A little punchy. That's always fun. I like that feeling. Okay, well, let's just vandalize this a bit. Let's see. We go. This is a walking animation, side to side walking animation. So if I go to the first one and I just palettes. Do we have any interesting palettes? Current file, create a new palette. Get some bright, she looks like she needs some bright yellow. There we go. If I start drawing on her, oh, that works. Okay, that's vandalizing enough, isn't it? Oh yeah, that's good. Some good stuff. Okay, so there's probably a good way to copy all this crap moving forward. Just mark them all up a little bit like that. That's healthy. This is a healthy thing. We're gonna draw a big staticky symbol around that. There we go. This is 12 frames of glory here. Oh, look at me. I'm using fancy tools now. I'm mirroring this stuff. Oh man, like I'm pro. I'm telling you, this is you're welcome, everybody. This is what you came here for. Okay, this is a train wreck. I'm gonna save this because that makes sense. Okay, good. It's preview. Okay, good. Now it looks moderately disturbing. That's good. Moderately disturbing. Okay, so I've mucked up a thing already. Go to Minda's behaviors. Allow diagonals. Okay, let's just push play on this thing. Let's see what happens when I push play. I need these arrow keys. Oh yeah, arrow keys work. Oh, look at my animation. There's my animation. Already kicked into gear. That's not bad, hey? Doing the diagonal thing, just exploring a map. Huh, okay. There's an obstacle. I have an object called obstacle. Let's go check that out. What are you in right now? What is this thing? I'm just gonna zoom in on this. Help. This is just all in GDevelop, so it's opened it up in a GDevelop window. Show project manager. Oops. Oh, here we go. So I got my game scenes. So this is very similar to Unity and Godot. So I'm already digging this. I'm not sure what external layouts mean. So let's add one. I added one. Edit the external. Choose a scene. It'll be in my game. That sounds good, I think. Huh. Click on an instance in the scene to display for this goes at Minda. Drop her on there. And the avatar. Oh my goodness, there. Oh, it looks just like me. Beautiful. Okay. New external layout. So I don't really know what this means. It's not to say I'm not going to sit here and... I could just sit here and read documentation, but... Got to legit. I will, Don. Thanks, Karen, man. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. This is an interesting... Yeah, he would. I mean, Jason, I appreciate, we all appreciate you. But now you know. I'm just messing with you, man. Welcome to the stream. So, looking at this, like obstacle. So, look at this, tile layers. That is, oh, interesting. So obstacle, oh, that is fascinating. So let's see this. These red lines that are everywhere. This is how they did collision detection. Absolutely interesting. Okay. So when I push play on this, I can't see it. I didn't even realize that. So that's how they rolled. Oh, and I can use my mouse too. My mouse controls too. I wonder if we could modify this, because like, oh, look at that, I screwed up the background a little bit. I just threw it off center. Her world's kind of falling apart a little bit here. That's good. That's healthy. My beautiful artwork's coming up. I'm liking this so far. I am really liking this. So I'm wondering if we can add controller support to this. That'd be like the one. I don't need controller support, but that is like, that's the, I know controller feel better than I know keyboard mouse, because I don't PC game, because I'm not elite, because I'm not hip and cool. But yeah, I'm digging this a lot, and I'm wondering if we can do that through inputs. So there's our collision handling. Okay, there's our camera. Yeah, this is nice. This is a very friendly little editor. What else do I have here? Export. What if we export this to? Interesting. Local folder. Build a game locally as an HTML5 game, which is exactly what I want. Built it to Cordova, so it's using that. Upload online. Upload your game online directly from GDevelop and share it to play your game using the browser on computers and mobile phones. Okay. Directly from GDevelop, and this is advanced. Build the game locally and export it to Windows, Mac, or the third-party developer tools. Okay. Local folder. What is this upload online thing? This will export your game and upload it to GDevelop Games hosting. The game will be freely accessible. Link available for a few days and playable from any. Oh, okay. You are not connected. You must access. Okay, but I wouldn't do that. I would go about putting this on itch.io or something like that. Let's export it to this. Choose folder. Let's just keep poking at this thing. I am really loving this thing, man. Okay, so we're gonna call this one just GDevelop tests. Yeah, sure. And we're gonna go build or export. Yeah, I guess it would be a build, right? Yes. I'm gonna call this one web. Select that folder. Export as an HTML5 game. Done. On your computer, you must upload it to something like that. Oh, oh wow! Look at all this. GameJolt, Congregate, itch.io, Pokey. I don't even know what Pokey is, but I can put it up on Congregate too. And oops, just gotta check see if the kiddos are waking up. And we are in the clear. So, yeah, so I can upload, open the exported game files, which I will do. I'm going to just run it locally, see if it worked. But I can upload to itch.io right away. Oh, that's really rad. I really dig that. Now, that being said, like, I wonder if you can actually, you could probably get into a whole CI/CD pipeline as well. Like, you could totally use GitHub Actions. Like, this is just doing straight up export. But now the question is, could you do it that way from the command line? That's not necessary for what I need to do. I am curious about it, though. We're going to put that on my questions to answer about this thing. So GDevelop. I'm writing some notes down. GDevelop. We're going to go with can I CMD export or build? Because the build would be the one. Because the export, clearly I can do. I can export to a folder and then push that out. But can I do a build of a GDevelop application from a command line? Let's figure that out, shall we? I just want to know. GDevelop command build from command line. Now this might not be intended that way. Is there a manual build tutorial somewhere? Publishing games. Huh. Build your game in Unity. Don't care about that. Well, let's go to gdevelopapp.com. Okay. Download Lecture with the command prompt. You have to download with the command prompt. Okay. Official docs here. I see Electron apps. Don't care about that. If I search for build. Publisher game. Why is GDevelop cannot export, or why is GDevelop cannot export? Let's just read this mess of a sentence. Why is GDevelop cannot export directly to mobile and desktop, and why use an online build service instead? Building games with standalone executables, blah blah blah. Things can break easily and misconfigure. Instead, you do all the packaging automatically without having to install, configure, do anything, using one-click exports that are powered by an online build service. Note that it is perfectly possible to do manual compilation like technologies of that. This requires to okay. Okay. This is interesting. So it seems like they provide an online tool for this. Game debugger and profiler, my profile. Dialogue tree extension, what are you? I'm going to zoom in so we can actually see what I'm reading. The dialogue tree extension can be used to quickly create a dynamic dialogue tree behavior. Comes with actions, conditions, expressions that make it extremely easy to set such a system with scrolling text, animated avatars. Yeah, like this is how you build a little baby prototype. So it looks like it's using like some sort of flavor of twine underneath the hood. This might actually be twine. Okay, called bondage.js. Well, that's yarn in that library for us to like. Yeah, okay. Yarn, the anatomy of interactive story. Okay. Yarn dialogue syntax is designed to be accessible to a little. Okay, yeah. So this is Yarn. This is like Yarn Spinner from Unity. So again, pretty powerful set of tools here. Interesting. Okay. So what we've got here is we've got dialogue. We've got tweening. Like, and it even has a coding editor in the JavaScript. Says I'm gonna, like I said, I want to avoid that altogether. I'm not really that interested in doing that. Publishing games. Unload. Let's see other export options. Okay. Android iOS coming soon. Okay. Ubuntu Touch. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. So, I'm going to do the stupid thing. Look up some GitHub actions. Marketplace. And okay, let's look this up. Make this a bit bigger. GDevelop. Let's just see what shows up here. Nothing shows up, so we're gonna look up. Oops. GDevelop GitHub actions. GDevelop extensions. So it doesn't look like it, and that's probably okay. That's probably okay. Okay, so that is my The weak point is that you can't build that way, but does that really matter? Like, I mean, I could use source control for the source. I just can't automatically trigger a build trivially. And that's probably okay. I mean, at the end of the day, as long as it builds locally, build it outward, and that's it. 'Cause I like keeping control of my publishing pipeline. That's a thing. It's a thing I do. Okay, so we got lots of video tutorials for basic game making concepts. What are these? This is probably a good thing to look at. Positioning, it's 2D. Yeah. Events, how these are triggered. Okay. Let's head back to GDevelop, where we got this guy. Let's open up. I've got multiple instances of the game open now. Okay, so we are going to close this. Then again, we look at this. Control this. Everything here. Everything gets put together here. I love this thing. Like the struggle I've had with learning Unity and Godot, and I've explored Unreal Engine, is these are full-fledged development environments, and they're great. They're really powerful game engines, and I think you would develop. Not to say you couldn't develop a big, large-scale game in GDevelop or anything like that. The thing is, this sort of environment, you're going to be a lot more constrained to the tool. Like, here's your box you get to live inside of, and that's it. With Godot and Unreal and Unity, this is about extending it beyond that. The target audience for now, that's not to say that you can't extend GDevelop. There's clearly extension model and there's all that kind of stuff. Hey Jason, thanks a lot, man. Thanks for popping by. I appreciate it. Have a good night. But what I'm thinking here is, with GDevelop, your audience is targeted at non-coding visual game development, like very design centric, which is what I need. I need to take myself completely out of the coding space and focus in on the prototyping and actual building of the game. And if I were to take 1 second here, I'll finish that thought in a moment. I have a situation upstairs to sort it with a child. So I'll be right back. BRB, everyone. And we're back. Let me just check this monitor. We will do it this way. Monitoring mode. Maybe it was messed around with. Okay. In any case, let's get back to... Oh. Current stream failure lows in 0. What is this? Use an audio stream bitrate of... Okay. My bitrate stream... I hope you can hear audio okay, because it says it's a bit wonky right now. Hopefully that's okay. Recommended bitrate is 0. That can't be right. I'm going to do a refresh on my thing here. Let's see how this looks. Not now. We appear to still be live. Okay, well, we're going to see how this is going. It seems to be streaming okay. Just going to confirm. Make sure I have a bit of audio echo here. Sorry about the diagnosis live on stream. I'm just kind of double checking to make sure that things are... I have a bit of audio echo. Yeah, it seems to be working. Back to business. Back to business, baby. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking of. Like, so to finish my thought, there's a large number of background tiles in here. This is a really straightforward setup. Now, why I like this more than Godot versus, or not why I like it more than Godot. What I think is different about this. This is an environment you will be sandboxed in, so it gives you everything you need, and its audience is targeting a group of people that are not coding centric folks, and that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. To take that to another point, Godot, Unreal, Unity, these are very large scale, very powerful engines. But they do require you to get yourself pretty deeply involved in how they work and function to start producing a lot of, I would call it production level games. It's very developer centric. This is a little bit more designer centric. As though now you could extend these with the extension model, but then that's a shift on the audience, right? As I've learned over time here, your game development ends up being very central. Game development tooling is very critical to any cool project that I've seen. Where there's AAA, you have tool developers on the AAA side versus all the way down. You end up developing a handful of custom tools for your design team. If you have a developer using this tool, you could build extensions into it, and you can kind of all live within this ecosystem, which isn't a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's a very good thing. But you're gonna need, like, this is targeting non-developer people versus the Unity and Unreals. You're more likely to have tool developers. Kind of that side of it is more likely to be woven into your team already if you opted to use that engine. Okay. Look at this. The scroll wheel works. Start page, so I can just search the documentation. Okay. Let's look at help for a second. Let's actually go to the start page, search the docs, and I want to search for controller. Controller input. Interesting. So input. Keyboard, mouse. Okay, so there's no controller. That's okay. I think making a mouse-driven game is probably a good challenge. Really kind of liked playing Witcher 1, the remastering of it on PC. I played a bit of that, and it's all designed to be played with a mouse and nothing but a mouse, which I think is something you could do with good design and simplistic design. Okay. Yeah, I really like this thing. Yeah, I'm just trying to work my way through this. So let's actually try something. Let's try creating our own project. Let's do something brand new. Start from empty. Game settings. Here's my version. Okay. Very cool. Update resolution. Device orientation, landscape. Okay. Yeah, I could do a lot with this thing. See, the idea here is, like, kind of hack something together in like a week or two with GDevelop, something playable and that's exportable to the web. So you just start pumping it up to the web, and then force yourself to go to one of those more, I would call it, developer-centric languages meant for larger scale stuff when you want to take that idea further, like something like a Unity, Godot, or Unreal. I mean, Unreal is probably not in that equation because you're likely going 2D with this, but yeah, it's not a bad thing. Package name, author name, yeah. Single file saved in the folder next to the main file. I'm not sure what the difference here is. What's project files all about? I'm bringing over the... What do we got here for project? Sampling. Where is my... Well, yes, uncheck. Yeah, so GDevelop Splash and Startup, that's fine. That's actually the Unity stuff. I'm okay with that. Until you start paying for stuff. No point. Okay, by default, your game is saved in a single file. You can also choose to save it as multiple files, each scene, external layout, external events. This we're going to work on a large game in a team and sharing your game in version control system like Git. Okay. That is good to know, because I will be using Git. I will definitely be using Git. Okay. One moment here. Just going to check that. appears my better half has stepped in, which is very appreciated. Just kind of watching on the monitor. I heard the footsteps, but I wasn't sure if she was going to go in or not. Anyway, let's go back to this for now. Okay, so if I go into GDevelop again and we go, yeah, resolution. So I can do this, you know, change to fit. Oh, interesting. So I can go static and you can actually kind of size the window accordingly. So if you have to, yeah. Okay. Interesting. So you can put this in your display. To use this feature, we ask you to do this. Having it, yeah. Over Wi-Fi, disable it. Okay. Not now, thanks. Oh, okay, that's fine. So you want to do multiple files, apply. Let's add a scene. Let's add... What's this scene called? Can I change the scene name? If I go to project, new scene, can I rename this? Yeah, we're gonna call this one the game. Okay, in that game, we're gonna add text. We're gonna call this one title, or just let's call it life. I'll call it health, just for fun. Health. And its color will be that. I don't have a font file either. Looking for TTF files or OTF. Okay. That is fine. Say health. Make it bold. Yeah, so like you gotta go through all this stuff. Add a behavior to the object. Oh, new behaviors like fire bullets. Oh, we have a ton of stuff on here. Xbox. Why is Xbox even on here? Align. Close. Add behavior. Go to search new behaviors. Health. Access, so gamepads. Nothing on gamepads. Okay. Between physics engines. Yeah, this is cool. Like, there's a lot of work to be done here to learn. Like, a lot of grokking to do here. So I'd like to get something basic working. But I'd like to take a look at PixelBox real quick before I take this much further. But I'm 9 out of 10 sure that this is where I want to go, just because of the amount that's actually in here. But I don't want to count out PixelBox until I'm done here, because this has everything I need in it, and it's with tools I'm moderately familiar with, which makes a big difference to me. So you can't really beat that. So I'll close this. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. More info. Run anyway. Let's try this guy out, shall we? Well, I didn't realize my face was being covered by this icon. That's fantastic. Here, we're gonna move me down here. That's awesome. Go me. Okay. So we got PixelBox now. So click on new. We're just gonna call this sample let's call it sample. Location. Put that in my source directory, my lovely source directory. We're gonna create, yeah, sure. We're gonna call this one PixelBox sample. And create that project, baby. Okay, let's make it big. Okay, so it's a very small window. It's not bad. I'm going to zoom in a bit so we can kind of see a little bit better. Interesting. Open source. What does that do? Did I do anything? Oh, I opened, oh, it opened up the source directory. Interesting. Okay, well, let's try running it. Let's see what running does. Run, allow access. Yeah. Admin. Okay, so that opened up a little window. Nothing crazy in here. Maps.json. So these are all my assets. Project, open audio. Nope, not what I want. So what is this? Let's make a map, I guess 16 by 16. Let's see what that looks like. Can I draw on this yet? Sprite number. Okay, so I kind of like what we're seeing here. I just got to kind of figure out what I'm doing clearly. Run, view, map editor. Clear, Control Z, tile sheet. Something. The something map. Do I have a map that's called something? Okay. Project, open audio. So there's a lot of tools in here. Map, clipboard, tile sheet. Okay, here we go. So, okay, something changed here, it looks like. Okay, let's start drawing a bunch of weird crap here. That's not bad. Let's try what happens when I save. Okay, edit map. Okay, so I drew all over this thing. Project. Oh, wait. Oh, hold on. Maybe it was doing something there. No, it doesn't look like it. What am I doing? Oh, that just clicks. Okay. Settings. What do I have here? Controls. So gamepads are in here. Use WebGL for rendering. I'd prefer that. Scripting language. That's good. Full screen. This may not make it resizable yet. Update libraries. Settings. How am I setting the main load into that? The thing I'm trying to figure out is what am I doing wrong here? Like, I'm expecting something to show up on screen. I drew a map. Oh, save. Maybe that's what I didn't do. Close. Run it again. There's the developer tools. Okay, that's fine. Console. Okay. Yeah, so like, here's the other thing I'd have to do. It's really about gathering the assets too. And I know there are sampled projects. Like, this is a nice environment. Oh, you know, let me go check on upstairs. There's a child who's unhappy right now. I'll BRB everyone. Poor child. She's teething, man. It's rough. It's rough for her. And that sucks. But we're sorting it out. But I'll be heading out there in a little while. I take usually the evening shift too. But in any case, so this is really cool. Update libraries. Yeah, I guess so. Let's see what happens. I guess it is the latest. It's kind of nice that this is I can. So here's what I'm seeing in this. Like my initial thoughts on this thing here. I'm seeing that this is. If I click on, if we save it, clear the map. Yeah, like I see a lot of potential for this game. It's brand new. That's not a bad thing. It's just that I'm such a noob with this stuff that I'm not sure how far I could get here. This is a very powerful set of tools though. Like I'm really impressed with this. Now, the thing I can't seem to get working is why can't I see my horrible map that I created? Why can't I see that? That's like, see, like I just was using the scroll wheel there when it was zooming in and out. Yeah. Run view tile sheet. So yeah, like I have my assets. Spread editor. Well, maybe. Well, what we're gonna do here is we are gonna take a look at. I just turned off all the lights in the basement. I just dimmed my lighting dramatically. That's okay. That's okay. We're gonna take a look at the PixelBox.js docs. Let's see if we can find some documentation. Yeah, so Sandbox Framework 2.0. Okay, that's good. Fantasy consoles like Pico 8, yeah, and Game Creator. Okay, cool. Okay, so you have your assets. Buildings under the Browserify. Yeah, you can see like there's a whole set of stuff here. You can write it all in code if you want to. Like again, very, very cool, concise tool. But the thing is, I do need the support aspect of it. I do need that. I to do something quickly for this. I don't want to spend the weekend learning a brand new tool. I'm going to have to learn that with GDevelop. There's going to be a lot of stuff for me to grok. So yeah, there's a lot here. There's a lot here. Like this is really cool. This is again a very good tool. Is there a wiki by some chance? Let's check. No wiki. Head over to Itch and see what we can find here. Itch is super easy. Yeah, Facebook Instant, all this stuff. Yeah, look at all this stuff. Console won't pop up with run. Using external libraries. Like, look at this. Like, it is already just getting into the developer weeds with this game engine stuff, which is great. But I do need the docs. That's like the only thing stopping me from really loving this thing. Assets, maps, okay. What are the things we got here? If I could get a sample project, at least I could decompile it here, or not decompile it, but you know what I mean. Sift through the code. Is there not a view of the libraries debug? Close that guy. Oh, it's installing now. Did I already install it? Oh, I did. I did install it. Open. I don't have the example one. The new one, no. Where is a sample project for me? Oh, here we go. On my itch.io page. Look at this. Let's look at Kiwi, a new adventure. So it's deploying it right here. Little Famicom title, game by. Very cool. Oh, jeez. Well, that surprised me. I did not expect that. Uses a single Famicase inspiration. This one was ours. Game created with PixelBox. Very nice. Marky Mark. Wow. Okay, that was interesting. Turn the music back up a little bit here. Did not expect. Sorry, my apologies if that shocked you. It shocked me. Okay. So you've got the tools here. Like, this is really nice. Here, let's go to the let's go to the devlog. And where are the sample? I would like a sample project though, is the thing. Excuse the Gamejam, Sarah O'Donnell. See, when I jump over here, it doesn't actually give me the source though. Like, there's got to be a way to open this stuff up. Join the community. I really want to see your guides. Here we go. Perfect. Beginner tutorial. VS Code. Fine. Yeah, so it is more dev-centric this way. It's using JavaScript, which is fine. It's targeting HTML5, which, again, very, very cool. Learn X and Y minutes. That's cool. Yeah. I wish coding with that. API and documentation. Made with PixelBox. Nothing yet. Feedback and ideas. Yeah, I really like this thing. Like, this is a really cool thing, but like I said, so the tutorials are there, but I would need to get, like, I think you need to get yourself pretty familiar with the, like, the tools here. Let's maybe try, go back, use, install. There must be, maybe a sample game. Gamepad, WebGL. Issues. Set a procedure not clear. Yeah, I wish I could find. Yeah, I wish I could just find a sample project to work with. Do you have one in here? Oh, look at this, Monkey Warp. Here we go. Clone this stuff, dude. Make dir git clone this guy. Okay. Updated to PixelBox 2.0. Great. Okay, let's go back and open this thing up. Open. Monkey Warp. Okay. Interesting. So everything just goes into an assets directory, and then I run it. Okay. Go back over here. Interesting. Not sure what I did there. Try it again. Run it. Yeah, it's throwing an error over here. Clip is on it. That's fine. Okay, so we have the most basic things set up here. Okay, so it looks like if I go back to this community thing, guides, coding, or better yet, let's go back to the beginner tutorial. It says you need VS Code. Okay, click the run button. Do one with the canvas and one with that. Okay. Open the main project directory. This is a project open source. Okay. Project open source. Great. And then we're going to open this with code. Fascinating. Okay. So if you look at this here, if I zoom in, you can actually see the source directory here. It is just a bunch of JavaScript. You know, like there's a whole IDE set up there with PixelBox that needs an IDE. So it's like meant to be two different tools, but man, like I love this thing. I love that it gets you right back into the code so you can actually see what it's looking like. If I go to main.js, audio manager, so it just kind of sets it up. Require add views. This is very reminiscent of what am I thinking of here? Phaser development, right? Like this is very much like Phaser or Pixie, except it has a full-on coding. It has a full-on integrated development environment for design too. So I'm curious, if I go over to the title, tiles.js, textbox speedrun, monkey.js. So here's all my views. Title view. Add text. I'm going to change this to blah blah sandwiches. DW was here, lol. Okay. Because I'm a very mature developer, I just changed the options screen, make it my own. That's an original. If I run, oh, look at that, eh? Kind of blew it up though. Sandwiches, there it is. And it threw up. Clip is not defined. So wonder what that's all about. That needs to be debugged. No big deal. I think that'll be something that gets worked out with very quickly. Yeah. Yeah, I like this environment as well. The thing I'm lacking right now is the bit of documentation. The docs are there from GitHub, so it's not that it's bad. You know, that's the thing. It's not lacking documentation. It's lacking predefined content, like the assets. This sounds so hokey, and I'm not an asset flipper kind of guy, and you can argue that semantic argument all over the place. It's really nice to start with a prototype with a lot of community content to kind of like you glue this Frankenstein monster together in an environment and you just get it working. And that's been my biggest problem, is that I don't have these assets at my disposal. I was not familiar with them. An environment like GDevelop just has more of them because it's been around for longer. I bet you PixelBox will get around the same sort of thing. But again, this comes down to, this is a developer-centric tool. Again, not a bad thing. But it's very JavaScript. It's just good. It's stitching together all these pieces. I'm just looking at GDevelop going, well, why don't I do that? So let's go back to GDevelop. I think I'm going to call the stream here actually pretty soon and actually just end it, because I got to kind of digest this a little bit more. Yeah. Open a project. GDevelop test source. Okay, I don't have a create a new project, I guess. Let's take our let's go with platformer this time. New scene events. Look at all these events. Look at all this stuff. So the events, like this would be the problem I guess you'd hit right away, is like you have all these this is all one big event. Oh, this is all the events for one thing, so you can't even split these up into separate things. I mean, and that's an argument about like what's good or bad for larger games. So looks like my platform. So yeah, like again, this all comes down to the quality of the assets, but and it doesn't have, and it doesn't have. My point was it didn't have gamepad support. But I bet you that could be remedied with an extension, and that's where that dev extension model would kind of go. I suck at this. I'm really bad at this. Okay. Yeah. Can any of these things kill me? No, apparently not. Death. Interesting. You can see all the different objects here. Like again, this is really good for prototyping, but I think this one is very limited. I feel like you could do a lot more with take PixelBox a little further with what it's got going on there. Huh. Yeah, you know, let's go back to the chat mode. Like actually, sorry, go back to this. I want to see if I can export this to manual platforms here. Can I do this manually? Build. We'll go with we're gonna go with, what am I gonna go with? We're gonna go with Windows. That. Select. Package. Open folder. Oh, interesting. So it actually just builds a Node.js application. Now you can use Electron Builder. You need Node.js installed to use it on the command line to run it. Okay, to create an executable. So I can create one. This is where you're built to. This is what you're paying for when you have a subscription member. So that's how they make their money, which is fair. I can completely understand the value of all that. Yeah, so this is all the stuff that comes with your subscription model. Not a bad plan. But I mean, at the end of the day, what I'm trying to export to mainly is build it to a local folder so I can deploy it to web first for that, and then that's that. Just gonna do one more quick peek here for something. I want to see if I can get to the gamepad support. Create extensions for GDevelop. Interesting. Interesting. Game engine. See, so this is the extension model. So if you have a dev, you're fine. Yeah, you have your effects. You have declare your extension to the IDE. Okay, so that's not bad. GDevelop. We want to ask GDevelop. Ooh, I forgot that I moved the things around. There we go. That's a bit better. Thing I want to look up is GDevelop gamepad support. Controller support. This is 2 years ago. XPattern again. Then you do. So you have to. So it's just JavaScript based inputs, but it doesn't come out of the box with anything nicer. Okay. Interesting. Here we go. Maybe change up the down. The rest of my code has been doing wrong with the ladder. Okay, so there is that. So let's look at how I can do input, because GDevelop, I think, might be the way to keep me out of the code. Probably should have started with my intent here, because like it's ludum 46, and here we go. So the trigger is here. New empty event. Let's add a new empty event. Did I add one? Where did I add it? Oh, here we go. Virtual controls. Oh, interesting. I'm going to zoom in for this. So look at all this stuff. Common, sprite, it's all these links and stuff. Instant games. So you can have events. So they just have a whole, like, again, it's a very designer. It's about building into the sandbox and keeping the sandbox clean. If you want to add to that sandbox, it's probably quite the effort to extend. It's just not like Unity or something like that where you're just writing a quick IDE script. So mouse and touch. Okay, let's actually go to keyboard. When a certain key is pressed, expression generating the key to test. You must enter a text. Okay. Let's say when N let's do N, just like that. So what is this guy? Keyboard last pressed key. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, okay, fascinating. So let's cancel this. Where did I put that? Virtual controls. Let's delete. And we're gonna delete you as well. At the beginning of the scene. Add a comment. Okay. Testing stuff. So that's how things get organized with comments. Again, not ideal by any stretch. Choose and add an event. JavaScript code. Oops. Testing. Okay. Let's add a new empty event. add the condition. The condition is on keyboard, key pressed. Oh, here we go. It's going to be, let's go with B. Where's B? On B, add an action. I want text object. Let's go with sprite. Let's go with, let's put it, what do we have for effects? No, let's not go to effects. Visibility. Animations. Let's change the sprite. Let's change the player. Subtract. And let's go with 0.1. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, change the opacity. So when the B key is pressed, it's going to make me a little bit more transparent. Okay, let's try it. Is it working? I can't tell. Doesn't look like it is. I mean, I've broken a bunch of stuff though. Oh, it's still jumping. Okay. Let's close that. Let's go to the new scene events. When the B key is pressed, subtract, let's say 50. I don't know. I have no idea what opacity is in this. So go back to new scene, check player. What are the properties? Can I see the properties of this? Edit object. Edit object variables. Nope. Edit object. Hit points. Behaviors. Tags. Okay, so this is also going to take me some time to get used to. This isn't as drag and drop. And I think it's going to be the same thing with no matter what I do. Okay, let's see. Play. Oh. Well, that worked. Try it again. So I jump. Invisible. Whoop. Okay, interesting. Let's edit that. I'm gonna edit that event again. We are going to multiply by 0. I'll multiply it by 0.25 just to see. Or sorry, divide by 0.1. Great. Go back. So save it. So that was the problem. I didn't save when I did this. So am I becoming more and more transparent? Doesn't appear to be. Nope. So close this. Scene events. Subtract by change the video of the player by subtract 1. Save, new scene, play. Now it's working. As I push it more, I'm becoming more and more transparent. See? There we go. Interesting. Okay. So I've got some thinking to do. So the theme for... So here's my conclusions here. Oh, D to the King. Hey, welcome to the stream, my friend. Just tuning in here. I didn't just kind of exploring some stuff here tonight and checking stuff out. Sorry I didn't see that chat earlier. I got to put the chat up on the stream to beep up. Yeah, so here's my thoughts on this so far. So my gut's telling me to go with GDevelop, although I'm really digging the PixelBox.js. I think that is really cool. I think that is a valuable tool. I just think that, how do I want to word this? I honestly think I just need more hand-holding. That's really what it's coming down to. I need more hand-holding, and I need more community support artifacts. So things like support forums, or not support forums because that's there, but documentation, examples, tutorials, a whole bunch of them to kind of experiment with it. It also doesn't hurt that GDevelop has a dialogue system, as Yarn from built into it, very similar to Twine, which is a big deal to me. I like having nice little dialogue systems built into stuff. So it's about getting the most basic thing built over the weekend. I might not even have anything to show for it by the end. I don't know. But it also opens the door to being able to deploy this thing to GameDev.js as well as part of that competition over the course of the week. So there's some opportunity here if I go with this thing. And I mean, they would both work. I just think I'm going to need a little bit more hand-holding and it to keep me out of the code. I think the big thing I'm going to see here, and my biggest challenge, is going to be to take myself out of that coding environment, take myself completely out of code to really think about it. So I think I got some challenges in front of me. They're not unsurmountable. They're not the end of the world. They're not. It's more you don't know what you don't know. Because I mean, realistically, what I could do is I could just pop open Godot and start adding assets there. Like I really could just do that, and maybe that's what I'm gonna do. I don't like that I can't use C# to do web output, and the C# is the part that I'm kind of most interested in. There is a visual coding script language, and there's also GDscript, which is very good. I've done some work in that, so I mean, I have the tools there too. So I'll talk to my partner in this. So Darcy, I'll talk to Darcy about what options we have, because I do want to make sure we have a web export to make sure we have people being able to play it easily. And that's the only kind of requirement I have. So I'm wondering if we'll be faster with Godot than we will with one of these things. GDevelop is pretty powerful though. Like I can see myself getting pretty quick with it, but again, there's going to be a learning curve, and it's going to be hacking stuff together. So do I want to pick up a brand new tool at the same time? I don't know. I'm actually, now that I'm coming to this conclusion, I'm not 100% sure. I think Godot might be my answer, or Unity, because those are the two things that I know the best, and I want to be as familiar as I can with the tools. But I would keep myself out of the Visual Studio Code. I would stick with everything inside of GDevelop, or GDevelop inside of Godot. Yeah, that's where I'm kind of at right now. I think the answer is going to be, thinking more and more about it right now. As cool as this looks, and as awesome as all this looks, the thing that comes with it that's really nice is the editor features, like the designer features that come with this. It's not necessarily the same thing as like Godot doesn't have Piskel woven into it. It doesn't have a pixel sprite editor. It doesn't have that stuff woven in. We're going to be doing that by hand. But does that matter? Is that really valuable to have it all in one place? But I have to learn a brand new tool. Godot does eliminate me from the GameDev.js piece. So maybe that's the important part, is scoping it to the weekend. Gotta really think about this. I think, you know, yeah, this is just me rambling at this point. I got a lot to think about here. Okay. Conclusions. GDevelop is freaking awesome. It has all the art tools, the sound tools, everything you want in here stitched into the application. It is an all-encompassing sandbox, design-friendly tool set. It'll be great for building prototypes. It'll be great for building things that you need to keep contained to a set of constraints. I think that's a great solution to get yourself moving quickly. Godot and Unity need more than just themselves to create all the pieces you're going to need for your game. But what it doesn't have is that, again, it's not all encompassing, and it does provide a bit more of a developer centric mindset. Again, it's which one's the winner? I don't know. Thinking about this from a rollout point of view, it's like, what do I want the point of this game jam to be? Can I make something in a weekend, or do I want, like, what's my intent here? Just to do something, to think design focused? Then maybe I'm thinking, maybe it's an opportunity just to dive deeper into Godot and you just do it for the weekend. I mean, you don't have all the pre-built parts, but not necessarily a bad thing. I got to explore a little bit more. Yeah, so the conclusion is I'm undecided. I'll talk to Darcy, see what he's thinking. Like I said, my gut's telling me to stick with Godot just because it's so familiar, but I'll see what Darcy's up for. Using a design-centric tool is not going to be a bad thing, but I don't want to get bogged down in the development details, so yeah, we'll have to see. Anyways, friendos, thanks for coming by. Appreciate you hanging out. If you're watching this as VOD, appreciate that as well. So please leave a like, comments, things you'd like to see on in terms of live streaming. It's kind of like live game dev analysis. So some noob doing some game dev analysis or coding here. So if you have any comments or things you'd like to see, throw them down in the comments. Throw me a tweet. Also check out some of the other videos if you're interested. In the meantime, have yourselves a pleasant day and or evening, and I'll talk to you later.